Things look good going into this hunt. Fresh snow, cameras out, deer moving through the night. Everything looked like it was finally starting to line up. But you know how it goes. Hunting has a way of humbling you fast. The more I chased it, the more this season tended to push back. Every camera I checked felt like the story might turn. But this season had other plans.
Okay, so it's November 2nd. Just checking out some trail cameras today. Set them up about a month and a half ago. So it's pretty much all I'm doing today. I'm just gonna swap out the cards and head home and then have a look at what we got. But we'll probably be coming back here in 2 weeks for a week-long hunt. In the same spot as I got that big buck there last year.
I'm aware of the bonds that were created today. When you told me that sure there's a way, the water's so still and my pain has gone away. The air is much cleaner after it rains. Follow my love, the scent that's in spring air. Follow the moon into the sun. There's a call for new beginnings here. Let the sorrow of yester disappear. Let your body be new.
Okay, so this next little bit here, I got about a 4-kilometer loop I gotta do to check the 5 cameras I got in this section. So just gonna shed some layers here and get after it. Some days felt promising, and others I questioned why I was even out here. But that's the truth of it. Not every season goes and ends the way you want. Sometimes you put in the work and the hours and the miles, and all you come home with is a cold face and a lesson. And that's where this story begins. The early part of these hunts are always the same. Hours spent walking in, hanging cameras, checking old ones, and trying to piece together what these deer are doing when I'm not here. Most people don't see this part. Part where you're fighting snow, dead batteries, and bears chewing up your cameras. Every card I pull feels like it could change everything. And half the time it doesn't. Half the time it's just another empty frame, or a doe at midnight, or a pretty decent buck that only seems to exist when I'm at home or at work. But this is it. This is where the season is built. Long before you ever nock an arrow or shoulder a rifle, piece by piece you learn what the bush is willing to show you and what it's not. Just had to adjust that camera. There's a pretty heavy game trail like 10 yards south of it, and there wasn't much traffic going through where I had it set up, so a little adjustment. Anyways, that was the last camera, so I'm gonna head back to the quad now, load up, head home, come back in a couple weeks for a hunt. See you then. Alrighty, it is November 12th. I was here just over a week ago checking trail cameras and everything. We had a lot of younger deer, 8-pointers, 6-pointers. We had one nice 10-pointer, which is the spot I just dropped Kaylee off, so she's gonna sit there and do some rattling and see if we can get that deer to come out. And yeah, I just hopped back on the quad, drove a little ways and parked it. Now I'm gonna go for a bit of a hike here for the last few hours of the evening. Also do a little bit of rattling and see what's around.
The hike into my spot felt different. Dead quiet. Just this strange stillness that almost felt apocalyptic. There were tracks everywhere, layers of them. The kind of sign that tells you this place used to be full of life. Communities of whitetail moving through here day after day. But now it was just remnants. Stories stamped in the snow, and nothing standing in front of me. I set up and started rattling, hoping something would still be around, but the bush stayed silent, and the evening slipped away without a single deer.
First morning out, spot I was in last night didn't turn too much up, so I'm gonna try a different spot this morning. We got a little bit of a quad ride and then about 2-mile hike to where I'm gonna go. Kaylee's gonna kind of be in that area too, so see what we can see.
Next morning, Kaylee and I hiked in together. I left her, sat up against a tree with a good vantage point, and I kept going a little further. Found a decent spot and started rattling. It didn't take long before I finally saw movement. A young buck came in, nothing mature, but after how dead things have been, it was pretty nice to finally lay eyes on a deer. And that was about it. A doe showed up for all of 2 seconds in the thick bush, and then a curious coyote came by just to get a laugh at watching me smash 2 antlers together and call it a sequence.
So I'm just sitting there this morning. Seen a doe and what looked to be a wolverine maybe jumping across the trail, and then I was just rattling for a bit and a nice looking coyote came in to check me out, but that was it. Everything's gone pretty quiet now, so I'm gonna head back to camp, have a coffee, make some lunch, and then come back out for the evening. Might come back to the same spot. Jump the trail.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Okay, so went back to camp, had something to eat, coffee, and back out here again. We're pretty close to where I was this morning. We're just gonna walk in the opposite direction of where I sat and sit there till dark, do a little bit of rattling. Yeah, Kaylee and I are gonna sit together this evening and hope for the best. Let's go.
Last night was another long sit, staring at empty timber, listening to a ticked off squirrel because we're sitting under his favorite tree. Nothing was moving. Just that cold, heavy silence that makes you wonder if the whole deer population just packed up and left the country. This next morning I decided to switch things up a bit and brought my daughter along. And honestly, it changed more than the wind direction. Watching her walk through the bush, all excited about tracks and squirrels and busted branches, it reminded me what this whole thing used to feel like before I turned it into a full-blown obsession. She wasn't thinking about deer numbers or pressure or camera pics. She was just out there with us. And somehow that made the hunt feel less like a fight and more like a day worth showing up for. Even if the deer still weren't playing our game.
No luck. Seen one doe. Gonna head back to camp, and then I gotta drive to town here. Drop my kid off. She's got school tomorrow. Right? School, fun.
No.
And then we'll try again tomorrow. Probably same spot, just go a little deeper. Just did a 45-minute quad ride this morning into a new spot. We're going to spend all day back here. It'll be our last full day. So hopefully we get some action.
This final day felt like a repeat of the whole week. Miles on our boots, long sits in dead timber, and rattling in empty air. The only deer we laid eyes on was a lonely spike that looked just as lost as we were. By then we were running on stubbornness alone. Covered ground, tried different sits, rattled until our hands hurt, and nothing changed. After that we were out of ideas, so we packed up and headed home, hoping maybe some time off would reset the season.
Well, that's all, folks. The deer are gone, our egos are hurt, and we're going home empty. So it's been about a week since I was down last for whitetail. We're getting pretty close to the end of the season here now. Last time we've seen lots of younger bucks, but nothing I wanted to really pull the trigger on. So I loaded up the truck this morning. I'm gonna head down, do a little 3-day solo hunt. Just gonna sleep in the back of the truck. Brought a generator, extension cord. Just gonna run a little electric heater. It's minus 16 Celsius right now. Should be there in about half hour. Quickly get set up, offload the quad, and head out. Hopefully I got some luck this go around. Frickin' cold.
So here we are, the end of the line. No hero shot, no last minute buck, nothing to hang on the wall. Just one day of footage from a solo trip where the deer didn't even bother pretending to exist. And this is the part where I'm supposed to insert some inspirational line about the experience or how the woods were the real trophy. But let's be honest, I wanted a buck, and the deer beat the living crap out of me this year. Did I hunt smart? Some days. Did I hunt hard? Debatable. Did the deer run circles around me like I was brand new? Absolutely. So yeah, this is the end of the road. I'll spend the next few days inventing reasons why the deer weren't there. Flaming wolves, weather, wind, moon phases, maybe even aliens if it helps me sleep at night. But even with all that, this season meant something. I gotta share it with Kaylee, my daughter, a few good friends that don't mind freezing their butts off with me. And at the end of the day, I'd still rather be out here getting humbled by the woods than anywhere else.